Cordillera Ranch MGA is pleased to begin a video series of our beautiful Jack Nicklaus signature golf course. And this general overview video is our introduction. Hello, I'm Peter Norman, your current MGA president, and I'll be narrating the video. We are also pleased to have our resident PGA Tour Pro and reigning PGA champion, Jimmy Walker, adding some of his own personal observations later on in this video.
The purpose of this introductory video is to cover a little of the history of the course, how it was designed, and generally how to read and play our greens. Follow-up videos will be tailored to specific holes and the strategy to play those holes. On the hole-by-hole instructional videos to follow, we will be tailoring our commentary to those players new to the golf course and those who might feel they could learn a little bit more about how to play the course from tee to green. We are developing these videos together with the input of both experienced members and professional staff. Our intent is to share some of the proven strategies on how to best play the course from primarily two perspectives. The first is the aggressive line of play, primarily those hitting tee shots 230 yards plus, and the second being the conservative line of play, or those hitting 185 to 230. We certainly have both types of players at Cordillera. Let's first talk about our course history. Starting in mid-2003, Jack Nicklaus and his design team made several trips to analyze the Cordillera site and developed several routing studies. With developer input, they designed a core or parkland style of course. The result was a routing that encompasses multi-elevation views of the Guadalupe Valley and the strategic placement of water features, multiple tees, bunkers, as well as offering creative shot opportunities where length, accuracy, and finesse are needed to score well. Construction commenced in the fall of 2004. Grassing was completed in the fall of 2005, with a soft opening in July of 2006. Then Jack played his inaugural round on May 7, 2007. Off the tees, our golf course offers wider fairways than those found on most courses and is typically referred to as a second shot golf course. This puts more of a premium on properly hitting the approach shots to the par 4 and the second and approach shots to the par 5 holes. However, this does not minimize the need to hit accurate tee shots. You will come to realize that the natural slopes and elevation changes can effectively shrink the width of most of our fairways. Keeping this in mind, I want to point out the down valley effect on our course. If there is one thing to remember about our course, it is this. There is about a 200-foot drop in elevation from the 6th tee box to the 12th green. You can also observe it in the flow of the creeks throughout the entire course. It cannot be emphasized enough how much this effect needs to be observed when hitting your approach shots and putting on our greens. This leads me to another tip. When you are on a tee box or in a fairway and can see subsequent greens and flag placements, take note. While our pin sheets on the cards are good, they are no substitution for observation, especially when the bottom of the flag is obscured by the green elevation or a bunker. For example, a couple of holes that give you these viewpoints can be found on the 5th tee box where you can see the 6th green, or the 11th tee box where you can see the 17th green. There are other holes that provide the same opportunity. Finally, let's talk about our greens. They are generally medium to small in size compared to other courses and contain a fair amount of contours and a variety of slopes. This is especially seen around most aprons down onto the greens. 11 of the greens have false fronts, some severe, such as holes 2, 8, 9, and 13. If there is one thing that sets our course apart from others, it's the complexity of our greens. Figuring out how to read our greens may be the single most challenging aspect of playing or scoring well on the course.
This leads to our second set of tips, how to judge the speed and line of your putt on our greens. Just remember, it's all about judging the true slope of the green between your ball and the hole. You should first observe the green as you approach it from 30 to 50 yards out. From there, you can determine the general lay of the land and the drainage around the greens. This will give you a good idea of the direction and severity of the slope of the green. For example, the number 1 handicap hole, number 5, has a 3-foot drop from the back of the green to the front, and this slope may not look as severe to you as when you're standing over your putt. Also, be aware that many of our greens slope toward you in the front section and away from you or to one side in the back section. This may not be so obvious to you when hitting your approach shot, so be sure to take note as you get closer to the green. Next, determine the down valley effect that we mentioned earlier and consider how this will impact your perception of the slope. Remember that the overall green is actually tilted a little toward the low end of the course, which is the 12th green. In some cases, the slope of the green may look flat or uphill to you, when in fact it slopes slightly downhill or down valley. Other times, when the putt is going away from the number 12 green, it is up valley, so the severity of the slope can be deceiving, such as when putting from the middle of the 13th green toward a back pin position. It is downhill, but not as much as it looks, so it's easy to leave this putt short. Finally, you may notice lighter and darker shades of green when you are reading your putt. This shading difference is caused by the grain of the grass. Our bent grass lays down a little, and the grain grows down the true slope. This makes the grain a great indicator of where the slope changes on the green and how the speed and break of your putt will be impacted, especially as it slows down near the hole. When putting toward the darker shade, your putt will be uphill and into the grain, so it will be slower and will generally break a little less. The opposite is true when you are putting in the direction of the lighter shade of green. It will be downhill and faster with the grain. If you can't see the shading and you're still unsure of the slope near the hole, you can always look straight down at the edges of the cup to read the direction of the grain. The grain will run the direction from the sharper, smoothly cut uphill side to the slightly ragged edge of the downhill side of the hole. So this is the direction of the true slope, even if it is a subtle one.
Maintenance practices, which include watering, cutting, and rolling of the greens, vary throughout the year. In the winter, our greens have been cut and rolled and are very fast. This is also generally lessens the down valley effect and amount of break. In the summer, and especially the drought times, more water and no rolling are the theme. This means slower speeds, more break, and the greater the effect the down valley has. Something you must always consider during your round is our hill country weather, be it humidity, rain, wind, or all of the above. Of all of these, wind is the most prevalent. It has the most effect on your strategy of playing a hole. For instance, in the winter with a strong north wind, hole 10 can easily become a par 5 instead of a par 4. So your short game will be tested. Weather will always play a factor in navigating our course. Now that wraps up my general comments about our course. I would now like to turn it over to our friend and neighbor, the 2016 PGA champion, Jimmy Walker, to provide his own brief perspective on our course and any tips he feels might apply to this audience.
We're joined here by Jimmy Walker today. Thank you for some of your time. You've had a great year, and we're looking forward to big things the rest of the year. We're going to talk to Jimmy about things about our course and what we can do as a membership to make it more playable, more enjoyable for everybody out there. But first of all, Jimmy, if you could just tell us how you feel about Cordillera as it relates to other courses you've played around the country and the world, for that matter.
Yeah, I think what we have here is very special. Not so much just, the golf course is amazing, but just our whole lifestyle here and what this place provides. And, I know lots of people that don't even leave their ranch for a week at a time, But as far as golf course, it's just absolutely beautiful. I mean, the views we have, you can see off here the first tee, 30-mile views. I mean, you can't really find that really anywhere in Texas, I don't think. Conditioning, our golf course is stunning. It's challenging. South wind, north wind. I mean, it's golf course plays so different with each wind. I think it just offers so much, and there's a huge amount of teeing area. So I think any skill level can really play. I know the women enjoy playing it too, because we've got a set of tees up far enough. I know my wife enjoys playing those tees. But I think it just offers something for everybody. Challenge, fast greens, great conditioning, and beautiful views. And clubhouse, second to none.
What are your favorite holes on this course, and why do you pick those holes?
Your favorite holes, I think, move around from wind conditions. South wind, I think some of the better holes out here are a 5. 16 is always good with a south wind. I think it's one of the better par 3s around. It's just beautiful and serene, and I mean, you can't get a better look, I think, than any other par 3 around. I mean, it's spectacular. North wind, 12's tough. 6 is brutal. So we've got a lot of really good looking holes. So right off from the get-go, the first tee shot's just gorgeous, hitting off towards Twin Sisters. And one is tough into a north wind, and it's nice in a south wind because you can bomb it down there pretty good.
Yeah. Well, most of us are just average golfers out here. What are the 2 or 3 things that we should pay attention to after we're playing the course?
Things to pay attention to, I don't know. I just think as a membership, I think it's your duty to take care of your club, take care of the golf course, take care of filling divots that you make, take care in repairing your pitch marks, take care in raking the bunkers. I always try to pride myself when I get into a situation like that in a bunker. I try to leave it as nice as it was when it was freshly raked, because you don't want somebody else to have a bad lie, that kind of thing. But just take care of the golf course, because it's yours, and you're paying for it, and you love it. And I think we all need to do our part and take care of it. See a weed, pull it. Every little bit helps.
Well, we certainly appreciate what you do for Cordillera and what you do taking time out of your busy schedule for the MGA, and we're going to do our part to try to make sure that the membership does take care of this course, rake bunkers, fix divots, and I didn't know this, but pull weeds now.
Well, why not? I mean, if you see one, get rid of it. It doesn't belong.
See, most of the time I'm in the weeds, so there's a lot to pull. So.
Well, you could do your big share there, your big part.
Well, again, thank you for your time and everything you do for Cordillera.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for watching this general overview of the Cordillera Ranch Golf Course. Keep in mind it serves as the introduction to a set of hole-by-hole instructional videos being created this year for the MGA and General Club membership. Our next video will be of hole 5, the #1 handicap hole here at Cordillera Ranch, and I think you'll enjoy it. Until then, hit 'em straight and go play!